Cody Ko once said, "Alcohol isn't the answer, it just makes you forget the question." Those words hit harder than you might think when you hear the stories from Tana Mongeau and Emma Chamberlain. There's one story in particular that Cody probably wishes you'd never hear. And trust me, this isn't your average YouTube drama. Cody built his empire on quick wit and savage comebacks. But what happens when an empire starts to crack? The truth is uglier than any of us could have imagined. We're about to dive into some serious allegations that will make you question everything you thought you knew about Cody Ko. Let's start with Tana Mongeau. You know her, blonde, loud, and always in the middle of some cancellation. From the disaster of TanaCon to her cloud marriage with Jake Paul, Tana's been a fixture in YouTube drama for years. But on her canceled podcast with Brooke Schofield, she dropped a bombshell that left the entire community shook.
Who's the smallest dick you've ever had?
Oh my god, do no one look at me, Cody Ko.
Tana claimed that when she was just 17, she had a encounter with Cody Ko. Yes, that Cody Ko. At the time, he was 25. But before you dismiss this as just another messy Tana story, here's the thing. In Florida, where this supposedly happened, the age of consent is 18, so we're not just talking sketchy. This could be straight up illegal. And it gets worse. Tana says she and Cody started talking when she was only 16. She even went on Patreon, tearfully sharing what she claims are emotional receipts of their conversations. The thing that was really heartbreaking, she said, was seeing so many people not believing me and being like, "It's Tana, so who cares?"
Heartbreaking to me and kind of crazy to me is after it started going viral, like seeing so many people like not believing me and being like, "It's Tana, so who cares?"
But Tana's not alone in this. Gabby Hanna, another OG YouTuber, backed up Tana's story, saying she even warned Cody about Tana's age.
One time, I told a guy, I saw him making out with a girl at a party who was underage, and I pulled him aside and I was like, "Hey man, you probably don't know, I know she like looks a little older, she's underage. Watch it." And he's like, "Oh my god, thank you for telling me." And then
But did he listen? Apparently not. Years later, Cody supposedly sent Tana a text. "Are we good?"
And he texted me like, "Are we good?" And was like, I said, "Yeah."
Was that guilt talking, or was he just trying to cover his tracks? What's even more shocking is the initial reaction, or lack thereof, from the YouTube community. When Tana first spoke out, it was crickets. Almost no one wanted to touch the story. It wasn't until D'Angelo Wallace covered it that people started talking. But even then, the response was muted, almost like everyone was too scared to speak up. Remember Cody's infamous quote, "People focus way too much on outer beauty. Want to know what really matters? How much money you have." That makes you wonder, what's really driving this silence? Cody's response, or rather his lack of one, has been deafening. No denials, no apologies, just silence. But as we dig deeper into Cody's past, we're going to uncover a pattern of behavior that'll make you rethink everything you thought you knew about this guy. We've covered the shocking allegations involving Tana Mongeau, but let's dive into another story that's just as unsettling. Cody and Kelsey's interactions with one of YouTube's biggest breakout stars, Emma Chamberlain. Emma burst onto the scene in 2017 with her quirky editing style and relatable, down-to-earth vibe that had everyone hooked. Emma was only 16 when she crossed paths with Cody Ko, who was 26 at the time, and his then girlfriend, now wife, Kelsey Kreppel, who was 24. At first glance, it seemed like a typical YouTube collab. Emma even called Cody and Kelsey her YouTube parents in the video title and social posts. But as we dig deeper, some seriously questionable behavior emerges. During one of their meetups, Cody's holding a Juul vape. No big deal, right? But then, Kelsey, who was a preschool teacher at the time, hands the Juul to 16-year-old Emma and says, "Baby's first Juul." Yeah. Not exactly what you'd expect from your YouTube parents. This wasn't just a cringe moment, it was straight up illegal. In California, where this happened, you've got to be 21 to even touch a vape. Not only was this morally questionable, but it also would have landed them in serious legal trouble. And for Emma, the ripple effects were brutal. Fast forward a few years, and Emma opens up about her struggle with nicotine addiction. On a podcast, she admitted, "I've had a constant stream of nicotine in my system for the past 5 years.
The few times I've quit, insane depression.
Right.
I'm a very anxious person anyway, so I think anytime anything changes, my anxiety is just the first thing to react, right? But horrible anxiety, like the worst, that was really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really bad, and like mood swings and like all these issues. And then, now my nicotine consumption, if you were to like look at how much I'm consuming now versus when I was using the vape, it's much less. And I do feel much more emotionally stable.
Great.
Which is interesting.
Great.
Like, and my parents
Wow,
noticed
yeah.
that too.
And where did it all start? Right around the time she moved to LA at 17 and got pulled into the vape scene as a coping mechanism for sudden fame. But the Juul incident was just the beginning. On that same day, they recorded a podcast where Emma gushed about how much she looked up to Cody and Kelsey as creators.
Who's your favorite on YouTube to watch?
Okay, honestly, like this is embarrassing. I'm not just saying this, but it's genuinely you both.
But there's a huge power imbalance at play. Emma was just a kid trying to navigate the YouTube world, while Cody and Kelsey were the established adults in the room. And then there's this weird dynamic where Cody and Kelsey kept referring to Emma as their daughter,
Let me put it on you first. Okay, because like you're my kid, you know?
Right, no, 100%.
while she called them her parents. Sure, it might seem like playful banter, but when you add it all up, especially considering this happened after the Juul incident, it starts to feel a bit off. It gets even murkier when Cody and Kelsey recently announced on a podcast that they wouldn't want their own son, Otis, to become a YouTuber. Wait, what? So they're cool with playing YouTube parents to Emma, but wouldn't want their own kid in the same position? Makes you wonder if they realize just how toxic this online world can be. Longtime fans have also pointed out that Cody and Kelsey used to party with Emma before she was 21. If that's true, they weren't just exposing her to nicotine, but possibly alcohol too. Suddenly that YouTube parents label seems a lot more troubling. And Emma's story isn't just about one bad decision. It's part of a troubling pattern with Cody Ko. A habit of getting too close to younger, impressionable creators, and something about it just feels off. And guess who ends up dealing with the fallout? Not Cody. It's the younger creators like Tana and Emma who take the hit. But don't get too comfortable. We're just scratching the surface. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Emma's story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. As we keep digging, we'll find out that Cody's interactions with young influencers goes way beyond just Tana and Emma. And trust me, that picture is not pretty. As we continue to investigate Cody Ko's controversial behavior, it's clear that these incidents are part of a larger, more concerning pattern. Let's rewind to 2015. Cody posted a Vine with a girlfriend who appeared to be a minor at the time. If her 19th birthday was in May 2016, that means she would have been just 17 in April 2015. Instagram pictures show Cody attending a festival with her during this time. Now, I'm no math whiz, but those numbers don't add up to a great look for Cody. Fast forward to Cody's wedding in 2021. A beautiful day, lovely bride, and wait, who's that? Colby Leachman, the best man, who just so happens to be a rapist. Colby didn't just invite this guy to the wedding. He gave him the title of best man. Cody and Colby go way back to their college days at Duke University. They were part of the same fraternity where they became close friends. Their bond wasn't just a fleeting college friendship, they stayed tight even after graduation, with Colby frequently appearing in Cody's vlogs. If you've been following Cody for a while, you'll recognize Colby from those early YouTube days. He wasn't just in the background, he was a regular feature. But Colby isn't just any guy. He's the son of a Duke professor and the stepson of the former provost of Duke University. That's some serious clout. And despite the serious allegations against him, Colby managed to avoid any major legal repercussions. Some speculate that his family's influence and connections might have played a part in him getting off relatively unscathed. And yet, despite all of this, Cody kept him close. So close that he made Colby his best man. Reddit users have been quick to point out the problematic nature of this friendship. One user wrote, "You had this man in your videos. He was at Cody's wedding party." And it doesn't stop there. Just a couple months ago, Cody and Colby were spotted hanging out together, showing that their friendship is still going strong. This isn't just a case of poor judgment in the past, it's an ongoing connection that Cody seems to have no problem maintaining. Now let's talk about Cody's behavior on podcasts, because it's something else. In January 2017, Cody made an appearance on the No Jumper podcast with Adam22. During the episode, fans couldn't help but notice a tinge of jealousy when Adam showed interest in Tana Mongeau.
How do you know Tana? Tana Mongeau, who I love.
She was a fan of mine before she got famous.
Really?
Yeah. Crazy shit.
I think I want to date her.
She's 18.
Sorry, Lena.
Yeah, Cody's reaction was petty, but that's not the worst part. During that same podcast, Cody and Adam agreed that 17 and 18-year-olds shouldn't be giving advice.
You were listening to an 18-year-old drop advice, and even
that shit is so absurd to me.
Right, even at this age, when I'm dropping advice, I'm still I don't know,
giving life advice, and people actually listening to them. It's like, oh my god, what are you doing?
Ironic, considering Cody's own history of hooking up with people in that exact age range, right? But the cringe doesn't stop there. Fast forward to March 2019 when Cody appeared on his own TMG podcast with co-host Noel Miller. During this episode, whenever topics like child abuse or R. Kelly came up, Cody's demeanor took a weird turn.
He would go back to his former high school and just straight pick girls up. And everyone just, they didn't know what to do. And people would talk about it, but no one would believe it.
He didn't just seem uncomfortable in a, this is a tough topic kind of way. It was more a, please do, change the subject kind of way. And change the subject he did at the first opportunity he got. It's almost as if these topics hit a little too close to home for Cody.
Really don't want a kid now.
Yeah.
They're either gonna disappear and get fucked by somebody, or
just don't let them hang out with weird famous people.
When you start pairing these podcast moments with some of Cody's questionable tweets and jokes over the years, it paints a pretty damning picture. It's no wonder people are beginning to see Cody in a different light. One Reddit user summed it up perfectly. It's like watching a completely different person now that we know what we know. And they're not wrong. All of this led to significant changes in Cody's career. Recently, TMG Studios announced that Cody would no longer be involved in day-to-day operations. The statement was clinical, almost cold. As we enter into this next phase of the studio, we wanted to let you know that Cody will not be involved in the day-to-day operations at TMG Studios. No explanation, no accountability, just a quiet exit from the stage. But here's the thing, while Cody might be stepping back from the public eye, he's still likely to profit from this content. His videos are still up, still generating views, and still making money. It's a move that's raising eyebrows and questions about accountability in the YouTube community. So, what does all this mean for Cody Ko's career? Well, it's hard to say for sure. On one hand, he's taken a significant hit, losing around 500,000 subscribers in just a month after the allegations surfaced. That's a major blow for any YouTuber, and it's a clear signal that people are waking up to the darker side of Cody's persona. But on the other hand, Cody has chosen to remain silent throughout this entire ordeal. No denials, no apologies, just nothing. And in the world of YouTube, where creators usually fall over themselves to explain, justify, or apologize, Cody's silence is deafening. It's almost as if he's banking on the idea that if he just stays quiet long enough, people will eventually forget. It's a strategy that's worked for some creators in the past. Go quiet, wait for the storm to blow over, and then slowly make a comeback. But will it work for Cody? That's anyone's guess. But what we do know is that this isn't just about one incident or one bad decision. It's a pattern of behavior that spans years, involves multiple young influencers, and raises serious questions about power dynamics in the YouTube community. But when a scandal hits the YouTube community, you'd expect the platform to explode with hot takes, reaction videos, and commentary. But in the case of Cody Ko, the silence has been deafening. Why? That's the million-dollar question. So, let's break it down. First off, there's the friendship factor. YouTube is a small world and everyone seems to know everyone. Cody's been in the game for years, collaborating with countless creators. Speaking out against him could mean burning bridges, losing collabs, and potentially damaging their own careers. It's a high-stakes game of social chess, and many creators are choosing to sit this one out. Then there's the business side. YouTube isn't just about making funny videos anymore. It's a full-blown industry with sponsorships, brand deals, and corporate partnerships. Creators who speak out against Cody might find themselves on the wrong side of these business relationships. After all, controversy is bad for business, and no one wants to be associated with a PR nightmare. But here's where it gets really interesting. D'Angelo Wallace pointed out something crucial. He said that many big YouTube channels that usually cover serious topics are ignoring this situation because of Cody's popularity. It's like there's an unspoken rule, don't mess with the big dogs. Keemstar, the controversial drama channel host, also added fuel to the fire. He backed up Gabby Hanna's story about warning Cody about Tana's age. This adds some serious weight to Tana's claims and makes the community silence even more questionable. Cody's fanbase is split, and it's messy. Some fans are all in, dismissing the allegations like they're nothing. They're flooding the internet with memes, mocking Cody for dropping Justin Bieber's Sorry in his Vegas DJ sets right in the middle of this scandal. It's almost like he's trying to remix his way out of this mess. At the gig, crowds were chanting his name like he's a hero. Seriously, it's wild. But not everyone's blindly loyal. Some fans are struggling to reconcile the Cody they knew with these serious accusations. They're demanding answers and they're not taking no for an answer. Then there's the backlash against Tana Mongeau. Cody's fans have been harsh, slut-shaming her for coming forward. It's a brutal reminder of why so many victims stay silent, especially when they're against a popular figure. Social media is a battlefield right now. Reddit threads about Cody and Kelsey's friendship with Colby Leachman keep disappearing. Censorship, maybe? Meanwhile, Twitter and TikTok are flooded with takes ranging from full defense to complete condemnation. This raises big questions about fan culture. When do we, as fans, need to hold our favorite creators accountable? Is blind support always the move, or is there a time to step back and critically examine the situation? And let's talk about cancel culture. Some argue it's essential for holding powerful figures accountable, while others see it as a toxic mob mentality. In Cody's case, both sides are playing out in real time. Sure, he's lost some subscribers, but he still has a massive following, and his content is still generating money. So, is true accountability even possible in the age of internet fame? Fan reactions matter, big time. They shape how a story is perceived, how long it stays in the spotlight, and even how the accused chooses to respond. Cody's mixed fan reactions might explain why he's opted for silence so far. But while everyone's been caught up in the drama surrounding Cody's past behavior and his refusal to speak out, a bigger story has been overlooked. It's not about Tana or Emma this time, it's about someone much closer to Cody, someone who might just be the unexpected victim in this whole mess. We've talked about Tana, Emma, and Cody's questionable behavior, but there's one person we haven't really focused on yet: Kelsey Kreppel, Cody's wife. You probably know her as the quirky, relatable YouTuber who pops up in Cody's videos, but Kelsey's story is more complicated than you might think. Before she was making YouTube videos, Kelsey was a preschool teacher. Yeah, you heard that right. Finger painting, story time, the whole 9 yards. Which makes what I'm about to tell you even crazier. Imagine going from teaching little kids how to count to suddenly handing a vape to a 16-year-old. Yup, that incident with Emma Chamberlain and the Jewel? Kelsey, 24 at the time, was the one who gave it to her, calling it baby's first jewel.
Baby's first jewel.
Not exactly what you'd expect from someone who used to teach toddlers, huh? Kelsey's role in all this drama? It's not as clear-cut as you might think. Some fans see her as complicit in Cody's behavior. Fast forward about 10 months after the vaping incident, and there's a video where Emma's on Kelsey's channel and Kelsey calls her my child.
Let me put it on you first. Okay, because like you're my kid, you know? Right, no, 100%.
The top comment? Emma looks like a child. Ironic, considering what happened before, right? And then there's the Colby Leachman situation. Despite the serious allegations against him, Kelsey still follows Colby on Instagram. Fans on Reddit? Not happy. And when people started calling her out in the comments about her husband's actions, she just straight up deactivated them. Classic move, right? It might seem like Kelsey's just as much a part of the problem as Cody, right? But here's where things take a wild turn. What if Kelsey's actually a victim in this whole mess? Let's rewind to early 2021. On a podcast, Kelsey revealed she'd been asking Cody to propose for years. He finally promised her he'd do it that year, but then nothing. Months went by and still no ring. Kelsey started doubting if Cody even loved her anymore, wondering if he actually wanted to marry her.
So Cody told me at the beginning of the year, 2021, that he was going to propose.
Right.
He was like, sometime this year, because I couldn't stop asking him about it. He said, by the end of this year, babe, by the end of the year.
Babe, by the end of 2021.
By the end of 2021. And I was like, okay, cool. So then for the rest of the year, every single thing that we did, whether it was like, he was like, do you want to just go for a walk on like a Tuesday at 12 p.m. or like, we're going to go to the beach, whatever it was, I was like, I can't believe he's about to propose to me.
Right.
Can you imagine that? Being in a relationship for years, thinking you're on the same page about the future, and then suddenly you're not so sure? Finally, in December 2021, Cody pops the question. On a beach, by the way, which Kelsey apparently hates.
I have to be chill at the beach for Otis. Like, I don't want him to think that sand is bad just because I think sand is bad.
Talk about missing the mark. But here's where it gets really suspicious, the timing of the proposal. See, Tana mentioned Cody twice that year. The first time was in August, just some subtle hints about their past, but the second time? It was in December, right before Cody proposed. And this time, Tana didn't hold back. She straight up named Cody.
And so I started kind of hooking up with other people. Shout out JC Kaylin, shout out Cody Ko.
Don't.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And delete both of those?
Reddit exploded with theories, with people speculating that Cody's proposal wasn't about love at all. It was just a shut up ring, a way to distract Kelsey from the growing rumors and to shift the narrative away from Tana's allegations. Some even wondered if this engagement was more about saving face than celebrating love. And then, as if that wasn't enough, there's Cody's sudden midlife DJ career. Yeah, Cody Ko, at 32, decided to take on DJing, touring around the world with a bunch of drunk young girls in the crowd. People couldn't help but speculate. Was this just another attempt to relive his younger days? Or maybe even a distraction from his own relationship issues? It's definitely a weird flex, and one that had fans raising their eyebrows. If all this is true, it puts Kelsey in a seriously messed up situation. Think about it. She's been with Cody for years, building a life, creating content, becoming a YouTube power couple. And just as she's about to get what she's wanted for so long, a proposal, she finds out it might all be because of someone else's accusations. Or worse, to keep her quiet. That's gotta mess with your head. What should be one of the happiest moments of her life suddenly feels tainted. Is Cody proposing because he truly loves her or just to cover his tracks? And it's not just the proposal. Kelsey had to deal with constant rumors about Cody's behavior, allegations involving younger women, and criticism from fans who think she's enabling him. All of this paints a picture of Kelsey as someone trapped in a storm she didn't create. She's trying to navigate her relationship, her career, and the relentless judgment from the public, all at once. And let's be real, that's not an easy spot to be in. So where does this leave Kelsey? Is she a victim of Cody's actions, or is she complicit? The truth, like always, is probably somewhere in the middle. Sure, she's made some questionable choices, but she might also be manipulated, caught in a situation she never wanted. The Cody Ko saga isn't just about one YouTuber's shady behavior. It's a peek into the messed up power dynamics that are running the whole YouTube game. When big-time creators like Cody start mixing with up-and-coming influencers, there's an unspoken imbalance that can easily spiral out of control.
Can I tell you something
What?
that I totally just remembered?
What?
So do you know what famous birthdays is?
Yeah.
There's only one fact about me.
Okay.
And it's like, she has collaborated with Cody Ko. That's the only fact. And then you click your link and it's like, Fagner, it's well known for hashtag, like all this shit. And mine's just like, oh, she's collaborated with Cody Ko.
That's a great little tidbit, though. I mean, what else significant is there to say about you?
No, yeah.
Besides the fact that you've collabed with me?
No, yeah.
Nothing, right?
No. Yeah,
never good.
That's a peak of my career.
So then why was that shocking at all?
I just wanted you to know.
Okay.
Think about it. Cody's got millions of subscribers and years of clout, while these younger creators are just trying to make a name for themselves. The age gap alone can make things awkward, but throw in the huge difference in fame and influence, you're looking at a situation that's bound to get complicated. Take Tana Mongeau for instance. She was tweeting about how much she admired Cody back in 2014 when she was just 16. Same deal with Emma Chamberlain. She looked up to Cody and Kelsey as role models. This kind of idolization makes these younger creators vulnerable, whether or not the older influences mean to take advantage of them. But when you've got this power, you've got a responsibility to use it right. Big-time YouTubers like Cody should be mentoring these new creators, not exploiting them. They should be the ones creating a safe space where new talent can thrive, not the ones adding to the problem. But what we're seeing here is something way more messed up. Cody's behavior is just a symptom of a bigger issue in the YouTube community. How many other big creators are doing the same thing? And why has this been allowed to slide for so long? This isn't just about Cody Ko. It's about a system that often values views and engagement over the actual well-being of its creators, especially the younger ones. It's about a culture that sometimes looks the other way when the big names cross the line, as long as the content keeps on coming. Now that we've peeled back the layers on Cody Ko's online persona, the real question remains. What happens next? How does a YouTuber with millions of subscribers and a carefully polished image bounce back after something like this? Let's break down what Cody's next move might be, based on how he's handled things before and what we've seen from other YouTubers in similar situations. First off, will Cody keep making videos? Honestly, probably not anytime soon. TMG Studios called this a personal issue for Cody, which usually means he's stepping back from the spotlight. This kind of vague statement is classic damage control. It lets Cody disappear for a while without actually dealing with the accusations head on. But don't think for a second that Cody's going to disappear completely. He still owns TMG Studios, which means he'll keep making bank off the content that comes out of it, even if he's not the one in front of the camera. It's a smart play. Stay rich, stay out of the public eye, and let the controversy fade. As one Reddit user puts it, he'll probably just go radio silent and stay rich until the next big scandal makes everyone forget about this. And what about a public apology or statement? Don't hold your breath. Cody's not exactly known for taking accountability. Remember when he used a racial slur and then posted an apology behind a Patreon paywall? Yeah, that video's gone now. But it's a pattern. Do the bare minimum to address the controversy, then hope everyone moves on. As for his YouTube channel, sure, losing 500,000 subscribers in a month hurts, but Cody's still got millions of hardcore fans. He might try a comeback after laying low for a while. We've seen this before. Creators disappear for a few months, come back with a heartfelt, "I've grown and learned" video, and boom, they're back in business. But with the kind of allegations Cody's facing, a full comeback might be tricky. He might go for something more low-key, like popping up on other people's channels, doing some behind-the-scenes stuff, or even launching a new project under a different name. It's a way to stay relevant without having to face the controversy head-on. One thing's for sure, Cody's not going broke. Even if he never uploads another video, his existing content will keep pulling in cash. Plus, he's got podcasts, merch, sponsorships. He's not going anywhere financially. But what does this mean for the broader YouTube community? It's time for a serious conversation about power dynamics, accountability, and the responsibilities that come with influence. Cody Ko might be the latest example, but he's far from the only one. The real question is, who's next?